Okay, so we left off on slide 9. What effect do the various combinations of alleles have on the organism? And we talked about normal hemoglobin. You could have big A alleles, or you could have big A alleles. Either one of those combinations gives you normal hemoglobin. And then if you have normal hemoglobin, your red blood cells are normal and they flow through your veins and capillaries, no problemo. But if you have abnormal hemoglobin, it's because of your genes. It's because of your combination of alleles, meaning that you have a little A allele on one chromosome 11, and on your other chromosome 11, you also have a little A allele. You have two recessive alleles. That combination of alleles results in you having the disease sickle cell anemia. Okay, so when we say the combination of alleles, what does that mean? That combination, we have a term for that in biology, and that's called genotype. So let's write down the word genotype and write down some examples of genotype. A genotype could be big A. That's a genotype. Down here we have big A, little a. That's a genotype. And then over here we have little a. That's a genotype. So I know a lot of you learned about big A, little a in middle school and everything. But what I want you to know in high school is that when you see those letters stand for versions of genes, and versions of genes are on chromosomes. So little a, when you see little a, that means on one chromosome, there's the little a allele. And then on its homolog, the homologous chromosome, the same kind of chromosome, is another little a. And you got one little a from your biological mother, and you also got a little a from your biological father. Okay, if you have this combination, you got one big A from one parent and one big A from the other parent. If you have this combination of alleles down here, big A and little a, one parent gave you a big A and one parent gave you a little a, but you don't know who, at least in this case so far. Okay, so that combination of alleles is what we call genotype. And you've probably heard the word phenotype before. So phenotype, let's put that on, we can maybe write that word up here, phenotype. Phenotype is, let me give you like the best definition. It's the observable characteristics of an individual. And the observable characteristics would be, do you have normal hemoglobin, meaning you don't have sickle cell disease, or is your phenotype you have sickle cell disease? You have sickle cell hemoglobin. So your phenotype is how you physically appear. And probably in middle school you learned about it's what you can see with your eyes. Do you have blonde hair or brown hair or black hair? But it's not just about what you can see with your eyes. Can we see under a microscope that someone has normal hemoglobin or normal cells versus abnormal cells? So it doesn't necessarily have to be something from your eye, but it's how you present. So you present, meaning you do have the disease of sickle cell anemia, or you don't have the disease. So your phenotype is how you physically appear. So in this case, the phenotypes of these combinations would be they don't have sickle cell anemia. The phenotype of this individual would be that they do have the disease of sickle cell disease. Okay, and then I think at the way down the back of in the very back of your binder, you have a graphics, don't touch your face! You have a graphics organizer of terms for this unit. So you can put genotype in there, you can do phenotype, you can do recessive, you can do gene, you can do allele, and you can do dominant and heterozygous and homozygous. See how much you've learned so far? Okay, now, how many copies of the hemoglobin gene does each parent have? Who knows? So here's mom and here's dad, and we'll just focus on dad for a minute. So here's dad. How many copies of the hemoglobin gene does he have? Do you know? Here's his karyotype. So hopefully by this point, you have answered that he has 2 copies of the hemoglobin gene because he has 2 chromosome 11s, and chromosome 11 carries the genetic information for making hemoglobin. Let's move this over here. So let's just pretend that these are his chromosome 11s. And let's write that this is the one he inherited from his mother. So we can label this one as maternal. And if you printed this out in black and white, go ahead and make that a feminine color if you want. And make this one a masculine color and label that P. So we've got a maternal chromosome and a paternal chromosome. So these are dad's chromosomes. So let's label them dad's chromosome 11s. So he's got 2 chromosome 11s. So really what we're looking at here, these models of this homologous pair, is the same idea as over here. We're just seeing the actual chromosomes, and these are sketches. This is taken with a microscope, whereas this is drawn with a computer. So the purple is the one he inherited from his biological mother, and this is the chromosome he inherited from his biological father. So let's just draw a black little line and write a capital A to symbolize that he inherited the big A allele, or the gene for normal hemoglobin, from his mother. And then let's write on the other chromosome, the paternal chromosome, that he inherited a little a from his father. So he has 2 copies. He has a big A and a little a. 1 copy, 2 copies. Enough said? Okay, so now that we've established that he has 2 copies, how many alleles does each parent pass on to their offspring? So mom and dad are going to have a baby, and he has 2 chromosome 11s. How many chromosomes, and therefore alleles, is he going to pass on to his child? Do you know? I think he knows. Okay, so here's dad and here's mom, and they are going to make a baby. That's what this kind of blue arrow represents. Dad is going to make a sperm cell, and mom is going to make an egg cell, and those are going to combine, and they're going to have their baby. Okay, so here's dad. Here's dad's chromosomes. Here's the chromosome 11s. He is going to contribute only how many? That's right. You got it. I heard you. He's only going to pass on 1 of those 2 possible chromosomes to his daughter. Okay, I'm telling you now, they're having a girl. Spoiler alert, but I spoiled that on the first slide. Okay, so where are we? Back up the truck. He's got 2 chromosome 11s. He's only going to pass on 1 of these 2. Which one? You don't know. Children are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Is that daughter going to get the big A allele because she's going to inherit the purple chromosome, or is she going to get the little a allele because she's going to inherit the green chromosome, or the paternal chromosome that this dad got from his father, and this would be the chromosome he inherited from his mother? Okay, so let's not get all excited here, ladies. Here's the reproductive organ for men. It's called the testis. And this is a not giant microbes. I heart guts, so I actually don't have one of these yet, right? So we've got the ovary at school, which I didn't bring home, but I happen to got this off of clip art, or off the internet. So this is where dad makes the reproductive cells. This is actually the organ, the testis. And then have 2 testes. They have a left and a right, so that's testes, or plural. The sperm cell is made in the testis. Okay, now, how are sperm cells made, right? We know that dad contributes a sperm and mom contributes an egg. Okay, there's a special kind of division that occurs inside the reproductive organ of men and women. So the reproductive organ for women would be the ovary. And this is a schematic of that division. And this division here is special. It's not mitosis. Au contraire, mon frère. It is called meiosis. 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 So that's what you see here. Now you see that it's different from mitosis, right? Like this and this and this. All of this looks like mitosis. No, meiosis looks similar to mitosis right here, but look, as you can see, there's not only one division, there's two divisions. So what we have over here, we call this meiosis 1. I don't know if you can read that. Over there should be meiosis 1. And then over here is, I taped this off wrong. My tablet. Chugga, chugga, chugga. Meiosis 2. Meiosis 2. Okay, so up here is meiosis 1. So there's two parts. And so what I want you to do is I want you to draw the chromosomes in this cell right here. This is a special cell inside the testis. We don't care about its name. We're just going to call it special cell. If you want to learn more about that, take anatomy or AP Bio, or don't Google it. That there's a special cell inside the testis that's going to undergo meiosis. So like your eyeball cell can't undergo meiosis, your heart cell can't undergo meiosis. Meiosis is a special process that makes sperm cells or egg cells. And so that's what we have down here. These are for sperm or for egg. And I'm just going to draw little tails on these to show that they are sperm cells. So from that one original cell, Dad can make 4 sperm cells. So this is that one cell, there's a division, and then each of those 2 cells divides to make 4 sperm cells. This is different in women. We're complicated, surprise, surprise. So this meiosis, it only occurs in the reproductive organs. It only happens in a special cell. And what is it? It's the process of making gametes. Oh. Gametes. Gametes, G-A-M-E-T-E-S, gametes. Gametes are also called sex cells. Sex cells, okay? And the examples of sex cells are sperm and egg. Oh, you, come on, buddy. Okay, sperm. Back up the truck, man. Sperm and egg cells. Okay, so all of these cells down here are going to be sperm. It's not like these 2 are sperm and these 2 are egg. All right, Dad can't make eggs, so he's only going to make sperm cells. So what I want you to draw up in this circle here is these 2 chromosomes, and I want you to draw them. How much time we going here? 1 minute. What I want you to do is draw them in the correct color. So draw them in purple and green. Now I'm not that cool. I can only draw in pink and blue here. So I just want to show you that before the DNA, before division even starts, the chromosomes are in the X-shaped structure. They've already undergone DNA replication. So this chromosome right here should be completely purple, and this chromosome over here should be completely green. And let's write big A on the purple chromosome, and then little a on the other chromosome. Okay, so take a minute to do that if you have to pause. What happens in this first division is that the homologous pair separates. Okay, so over in this cell is the purple chromosome, and over in this cell is the green chromosome. And go ahead, still label that big A and big A, and then over here label that little a and little a. And then in meiosis 2, the sister chromatids get separated. All right, and continue to label, color these 2 in purple and color these 2 in green. All right, and we're gonna have to stop there because I'm out of time. And label that big A, little a, little a. Bye.